The Los Angeles Lakers could be targeting a former NBA All-Star in Gordon Hayward. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to talk about with you guys. This time it's actually currently being reported that the Los Angeles Lakers could actually trade for Gordon Hayward. This is all being reported by Greg Schwartz. Now, again, congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers for making the NBA Finals. They're versing, probably my second favorite team. Again, I just really do like the Miami Heat. I really don't know, though, who I want to get, the win on this one. Just based on the fact that LeBron, I really hope that he kind of gets another ring eventually. I mean, look, I'm a massive Cleveland Cavaliers fan. I do really like the Heat as well. But yeah, they're probably my second favorite team. Honestly, I do believe that LeBron does deserve another ring, and it does unfortunately happen that it would go against, one of my favorite teams in the Miami Heat, and Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players. But yeah, I wish LeBron did get a couple more rings in Cleveland. It obviously never happened, but again, I am hoping he gets another one eventually. But again, in saying this, the Lakers are in a contender window to win another championship, and they've got a really good team going along right now. So why would they want to go out and trade for Gordon Hayward? It is a very big mystery that I do have. I don't exactly think it makes that much amount of sense at all. I feel like the Lakers could definitely be going after, a lot of different players that definitely have a lot less worth of contracts than what Gordon Hayward, does potentially have with the Boston Celtics. Hayward is still guaranteed on a $30, million deal, and I do believe the Celtics will look to move him. I do think the Celtics are going to look to try and get another, get a center here and then. I feel like they will go back to the old formula of playing Jason Tatum at that small forward position. So I don't feel like Gordon Hayward is going to be on the Celtics for very much longer. I just definitely don't know how I feel about the Lakers being a team that he could potentially go to. Now, the Lakers do have a lot of salary cap potentially, because they will have a couple of expiring deals, and it's rumored they're going to be trying to get, maybe try and trade Danny Green. He hasn't had the best postseason, rather. Also could be trading Kyle Kuzma. They also came into the season, I believe, just in salary cap. I don't even know if they were over the salary cap, and if they were probably over it a little bit. We've obviously seen a couple of teams like Golden State, who I believe are like $30 million over, I believe, going into that luxury tax. So the Lakers aren't even really there. So if they did, trade for a player like Gordon Hayward, it probably would take him into, contention for being one of the most teams into that tax, very similar to what the Golden State Warriors are, and again would be one of the highest teams over the salary cap. But again, I do feel like it would be a very interesting move by the Lakers. Although I don't think they should do it, it could, make a very big, interesting case on he could definitely start, with the Lakers. We've seen that LeBron's played a lot of point guard this year. He's mainly guarded the small forward position. But I feel like what would be very interesting is if, again, Gordon Hayward would most likely start at small forward and LeBron would start at point guard. And when it came on to defense, I feel like LeBron can definitely still guard the shooting guard position. We've seen that he can really guard all 1 through 5. So I really feel like it wouldn't make too much difference on the defensive end. Gordon Hayward, would just guard his normal position in small forward, while offensively he would play a lot of small forward. And again, I feel like Gordon Hayward could still average, the 18 or so points that he has been averaging with the Celtics. That could go down to maybe 15 or so per game. But considering LeBron James is such a great passer and he's very good with players, who can do the catch and shoot, I feel like he could really fit into how Gordon Hayward actually does play and, does obviously go about it. We've seen Hayward, be such a great catch and shoot player for a long time, and he's barely had, barely been an option really for the Boston Celtics. I'd say Brown, Tatum, Walker have all been options over him, so he's kind of been the fourth option in the team, and he is averaging 17.5 points per game on 38% from 3, and that's with Kemba Walker, who's a pretty decent playmaker. But imagine if he had LeBron James. If he seriously continued to work on his three-point shot, again, 38% is quite amazing, but if he could work on being such a catch-and-shoot player now, if he was to be with LeBron James, I feel like LeBron could turn him into a 40% from 3 type of player, and he could still average, 15 to 18 points per game on the Los Angeles Lakers. what the beauty is about this too is, yes, if they do trade for him, they would only be over the salary cap by that much for one season, as Hayward will be an expiring deal. And honestly, I believe Hayward is possibly worth maybe $10 to $15 million a season. Even though he didn't play that good in the playoffs, he still had a lot of injuries and he's still getting back into it. And for the normal part of the season, he didn't play like he was worth $30 million, but again, he was averaging 18 points per game in that regular season, so it's pretty clear to see he is still worth at least $15 million per season. Yes, he didn't really turn up in the, postseason and the playoffs with the Boston Celtics, but there are a lot of reasons that he had a lot of injuries. He had to battle a lot of, issues with the fact that, decisions. I believe his son was actually was birthed while he was, playing in the bubble. And imagine how hard that would be for a person. So, again, there were a lot of issues that were going on the side. A lot of mental issues for Gordon Hayward, most likely, as well. Also, a couple of injury issues. It would have been really hard. Yes, he didn't play as good as what he normally may play. But I feel like a lot of people are really kind of forgetting what he did as like a fourth option, still battling a couple of his previous injuries in the regular season. Averaging 18 points per game as like the fourth option is pretty incredible on one of the best teams in the league. So I feel like if he was to, to get traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, yes, they would be over the salary quite a bit for at least one season, but they could definitely try and bring him back if they wanted to for about $10 to $15 million or so per season as well. So I do feel like that would be a pretty interesting one. And the Lakers could get him for relatively cheap. It's no secret now that, the Celtics really do want a center. So honestly, if they did a sign and trade maybe of JaVale McGee, again, it's reported that JaVale McGee actually might be looking to leave anyways. He only played about 16 minutes per game on the season. Dwight is playing a lot more minutes right now in the playoffs, especially he did against the Nuggets. I don't know if he will against the Heat, but it feels like JaVale McGee's role has kind of gone out the window a little bit. So again, maybe it could be a sign and trade of JaVale McGee and a couple, maybe 2 second-round picks or something for Gordon Hayward. Considering Gordon Hayward has so many injuries and such a bad contract, I don't feel like his value is going to be that much. So if they, Lakers could, get rid of maybe JaVale McGee in a couple seconds for a player like Gordon Hayward, that would be a pretty nice deal, and the Lakers could just go maybe sign a new starting center in free agency, or maybe just make Dwight the starting center and go get another backup in free agency as well. Again, I definitely feel like there are a lot of possibilities and options that could kind of potentially go with this. But yeah, again, I would really like to hear all you guys' thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think the Los Angeles Lakers should go out and trade for Gordon Hayward? Again, I don't really think they should, but I don't really feel like it'd be the worst option. They'd just be over the salary for quite a, again, by quite a lot for at least a season. So, again, I definitely would really like to hear all your guys' thoughts and opinions on that. Should the Celtics trade him? Should the Lakers trade for him? I would, I'd really like to hear all your thoughts and opinions. But of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRO/vlog channel. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for all the latest NBA content and NBA news and the sports related content in general. And also don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for them will all be in the description down below. But as I was saying, to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time.